Yeah.
What went in the decision not to play the offensive starters?
Yeah, just the chance of the weather how it was all day. It feels a little wet when we got out there. Just wanted to have a clean, clean operation. Didn't want to put them on something that I felt like with any of the weather could have been a little messy. I didn't want to give them. I wanted to give them a clean track. So.
When did you make the decision?
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
How about why did the defensive starters then go?
Yeah, the defensive guys, the operation's a little bit different for the defense. Obviously, they don't handle the ball every down. A couple of the defensive starters that I did take out were older guys, but it was more about the operation and wanted to make sure that the weather was clean. Now the weather held off, but I know they're wrong a lot on the weather reports.
So what did you like about the performance in general?
I thought that our guys played hard. I thought our guys played physical. And anytime you play a Coach Harbaugh coach team, that they're going to play hard and they're going to play physical. And so that was a good challenge for us. And I thought we did a really nice job of doing that. I saw some of the rookies, really flying around during special teams and on the game. Will Shipley, really noticed how physical and how hard he was playing. Jalix had a couple really nice plays. Really noticed Nolan Smith, getting to the football. He has this outstanding speed and this high motor. And on the one they had a pretty good screen called on us, and he came flying out of the stack and made a big play. So I was really pleased with the effort, energy, physicality that we played with, because we know how physical and tough the Baltimore Ravens are.
I know that to start Quignon on the right side.
Yeah, just where we felt like we were right now.
We talked before about giving him both the slot and the outside.
Yeah, the reason he was playing in the slot a little bit, but the way they come out in base, right? If they come out in base, then he's going to be on the outside for how we started the game.
I know it's only a preseason game, but what does a win, if anything, mean for what are a group of young players?
Yeah, you always want to win in everything that you do, for sure. And we're trying to win as much as we possibly can. We're playing it but it is about the process and about our operation that we were out there. We were able to talk through a lot of good things as a coaching staff. All the reps that the guys got were huge, right? But we were able to get a lot of things worked out as a coaching staff as far as communication goes. Hey, here's what we do in this scenario. Here's what we're going to do in that scenario. And you can simulate situations as much as you want, and I try to, but when they happen in real time, you got to be able to react, and that's why you do it. And so I thought that was good. So again, it's more about the process of what we had to go through today. The win's nice because you always want to win, but it doesn't count. But it's more about the process. The guys playing. There's a lot of good film to be able to evaluate as we drive home tonight and tomorrow morning and the rest of tomorrow.
What did you think of the quarterback play? The quarterback play, like Pickett and Tanner McKee.
Obviously I have to go watch the tape. It's if someone says, hey, I know how this guy played based off of watching it live, that's tough. I think that's really tough. I can't do that. Now plays here and there that you say, you always have plays, but it's not just one play that says how you played, right? It's the collective effort. But we were moving the ball nice when Kenny was in. To not his fault, there was a couple penalties that stalled drives that weren't necessarily him. And I thought Tanner, when he was in, he did a good job getting some checks, really being in control of the operation. I thought they both were in complete control while they were in, and made some big throws. There's going to be plays that they want back, but definitely made some big throws, and both of them. I think about the one on third down that Tanner made to Anais that kept the chains going and put them in a position where they had 21 seconds left or 16 seconds left when they got the ball back. That was a huge play. I think about the out route that Kenny threw to John Ross. I thought that was a big time throw to the field. So again, there's going to be things that all the guys need to correct. But first thought, I thought they did nice, but I got to watch the tape.
What went into his playing time?
Who's that?
I'm Makai Becton.
Okay.
What went into his playing time, and why not play him more? Because he's new to this.
Yeah, again, everything I try to do, it's trying to do what's best for the team. I thought, he hasn't played right guard before. At practice he has, but in a live game he hasn't played right guard, and I thought that was important that he got to go out there and play, and when the live bullet's going. And I thought he did some nice things. And we felt like at that time, he came out after that because we felt like that's what we wanted, to get him in there, get his feet wet at that position, and we'll see if we play him next week at that spot to start the game. So we have a lot of time, and we have 2 more games left and a joint practice and a bunch of operational things that we do at the stadium, or pardon me, we'll do one more later in the stadium, and then a couple more operational practices. And so, when the offensive line goes, as far as why maybe to go deeper into your question, the offensive line on a daily basis, when their shoulder pads on and helmets, they're full go, right? They're full go. That's a full go rep. Now, no one's getting tackled, but they're full go. They're full go. Pardon me. And so, he's got a lot more reps to get, and we felt like we just wanted to see him for that series today.
As a follow-up to that, why did you want to see Tyler for the entire first half? Did you feel like you needed to see
Tyler's missed some time. Tyler's missed some time, and we just everybody's on a different pitch count, with where they are, and I'll have to look at the tape, but it seemed like we ran the ball well when Tyler was in, and we protected well when Tyler was in. So I'm excited to watch his game film. But yeah, he got a little bit more reps, just the way the reps.
How did you think Quinyon played in his first?
Again, it's yeah, it was a good play there on the near interception. I wanted him to finish that. We're gonna talk about that. Like, that I've seen him finish that. But it was a good breakup on a third down to, stop that drive. So I noticed that play. To say sometimes with corners, when you don't notice them, it's a good thing, right? And so I didn't notice them quite as much out there, and so maybe that was a good thing. I'll wait till I watch the tape. I got a long bus ride home to be able to watch the offense, defense, and special teams. And but to get anytime a defensive back gets a big stop like that on a third down, like, that's exciting, and that's the stuff that he showed when he was in college.
How important does this joint practice become? And what do you get out of that? Maybe that you don't even get out of a preseason game.
Yeah. Joint practices are always, every practice that we have is so important. The intensity with which you practice, the habits that you have at practice, and then when you get to go against somebody else, and then now you go from competing against each other to competing with each other, and I think that's awesome. That's part of what brings people close together in football, right? We battle against each other day in, day out. Offensive coaches, defense coaches, offensive line versus defensive line, DBs versus wide receivers, and then, like, all right, I got to go against somebody else, right? And now you get to compete with each other, and that's what brings people close, right? And so I'm really excited about the opportunity that we'll have against a good football team with that I know is well coached, and with New England. And but every time we step out there is really important. This will be really important as well.
Just as a follow-up, the fights that you've seen in those games worry you at all? I mean, they've been around the league. Do you think they worry you at all?
Yeah, every time we always got to do what we got to do as our football team. I'm not really. Yes, you look at it. You try to. You try to have meetings with the other coaches. Hey, to kind of figure out how they practice, how we practice, what's acceptable at our practice, what's acceptable at their practices, and kind of get the rules of engagement, I guess, to say. I don't know really what went on at those other ones. I got enough, like, we got enough things going on here. I heard, like, and you're mentioning it here, so it's, but we'll do what we do in joint practices, get together with the coaches, prior to us practicing, kind of set down the rules with our players and know that, hey, we have to be able to keep our composure in tough times, right? It's going to be hot, it's going to be competitive, all right, but it's a good test to keep your composure in tough times, and that's what we'll preach to our guys, and without knowing much about what's going on outside in the league, but we'll preach that to our guys.
On the sideline, was there anything that you saw?
Game in
On the sideline, was there anything that you saw or heard about Jake's misses?
I don't watch, right?
Yeah, but
So,
but you're there. You hear.
yeah, I got so much confidence in Jake, and his and Rick and Braden's operation. I really do. So, I look at Clay. I used to look at Fletch. Fletch isn't here for me to look at. So I look at Clay, and, I know I'm not going to get many this year where Clay's disappointed, right? So I got so much confidence in them. Hopefully we got those out of our way, but our operation and Jake Elliott, like, I'm so confident in him that I'm always like, what's his line today? Oh, cool. Let's add 3 to it because I trust him so much. So I was glad he got another opportunity, and I have no doubt that he'll be even better because of some of the adversity he went through today. And but I can't tell you how much I trust Jake Elliott, Braden Mann, Rick Lovato, and their operation and the whole field goal unit.
Nick, it was your first chance to see the kickoff in a live situation.
Do you want John?
Sure.
All right, I'll get you.
First chance to see the kickoff in a live situation. What were your thoughts, both from an offense and defensive perspective?
Yeah, there's just a lot of work to do. There's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of things that we're going through. We'll get to study that tape. There were some big hits that happened on it. There's a lot of there's guys flying around. I was glad with how our guys were flying around and their guys were flying around. There's some really good collisions out there. But we'll just continue to evaluate it. But yeah.
The running game in general, I know it's preseason, but when you see consistency like that, it's Kenny, it's Will, it's Lou, it's Ty, even Kendall a little bit late. What does that tell you?
I'm really excited about these running backs. We have a good room from top to bottom. It's going to be a battle. In these next 4 weeks to see who's going to make this football team. And I thought they ran hard. I thought they ran physical. They obviously protected the football. There's a couple clips that we watched that were like, ooh, that was a little loose with the ball. As we saw today, at the end of the day, you win the turnover battle, you have a better chance to win the game, right? And it all came down to that last play. And, boom, we talked about that last night, the ball. I thought they did a nice job, but we'll clean up some of the things. But I really liked, some of the things our big backs did, right? And Kenny played really good for his drive that he was in. Will had some nice carries, and then those big guys got to go and run, and those are really big backs. Those are big guys that you have to continue to tackle. I mean, I still a couple years ago remember watching Lou's tape. I remember watching his junior year tape at Central Michigan, and it was like, holy smokes, this guy. Now he had a little down of a senior year, but his junior tape was unbelievable. And then I remember, obviously he went, I don't remember where he went as a free agent. And then when Howie told me we were getting him, I'm like, oh my, I love this guy coming out. And so I'm excited to see him continue to grow. I'm excited to see them all grow. And I just thought they did a nice job tonight, running hard and running physical and getting some extra yards off some broken tackles.
All right.
Thanks, folks.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. How do you think you did tonight?
I think it was a solid night. I think they do a lot of, good stuff defensively that they show them early in the preseason one, which makes you kind of, try to prepare as much as you can with a day or two of prep. I think we did a good enough job and obviously got the win, so that's all that matters.
A lot of short passes. Was that sort of part of the game plan, or was there not things open downfield? What was going on there?
We just kind of taken what they were giving us. If it's open, you just got to take it and keep, methodically moving down the field, which I think we did. It was great to get in the end zone, get Ship in the end zone there. On our longest drive, I thought it was a great drive. But yeah, obviously, you want explosive plays, but at the same time, you just want to take what's there.
When did you find out you were going to go start?
Earlier today. Yep.
What was your reaction when you found that out?
It's, just be ready. You always got to be ready to go. It's, it's preseason. You never know what could happen and what could happen in the regular season. So it's always just kind of, being prepared as I can be and go out there and play well.
Kenny, knowing Jalen's the quarterback, how do you approach this game?
How do I approach this game?
I mean, he's the starting quarterback.
Right.
So how do you approach this game?
You're going to play, so I'm just, prepared to play, whether that was the first player or whatever time, I would have gotten in if they did start, who knows when it would have worked out, but, always just ready to go play. My situation, you're always one play away anyway, so I think it's always best to be prepared as if you're the starter, mentally, physically, going into every game and, just be ready to go.
What's it like for you to be able to utilize your mobility? You don't really get to do that whole lot in practice. This being a lot of situations.
Yeah, it's fun, and I feel like I've had a lot of opportunities in practice too, just with our system and how we operate it. Getting a chance to use my athleticism, and been working hard all off season, so you get a chance to show it off a little bit when I can take off or do some stuff in the QB run game. So it's been a lot of fun.
Where do you feel like you are right now in comfortability in the offense? Comfortability here with the new team and everything?
Yeah, I feel great, but it's a process. Whenever you go from a new place, you're learning a new system, it's always a process. It's never going to end. So, just trying to get better every day. And the continuity with the guys is getting there, being 2 weeks into camp. But I credit it to the spring we had. I thought we had a great spring with everyone showing up. So I think we started, a step up from a lot of other places. So, I feel good, but there's, a ton of work still to go.
You guys are going to go through a joint practice on Tuesday. You've gone through them before. What's different about them, and what can you get out of them maybe that you can't even out of the preseason game?
Yeah, I've actually never had one. So this is my first one. Yeah, we didn't do it in Pittsburgh. So this is my first one. So I really don't know what to expect either. I'm kind of going there excited. I'm sure you get a lot of quality work, situational stuff that you could set up against another look and just get different coverages and defenses and not seeing our defense every day. Seeing a different color jersey. So I'm excited for it. It'll be good.
Someone just didn't want to do it. Was that?
Yeah, I never asked. Just yeah. Yeah.
Kenny seemed to have some juice early running the football, and then Will as well. How has that helped you when those guys are running the football?
Yeah, it's a great help. I think we did a good job, getting the ball out in the perimeter too, kind of spreading them out, and then those guys were, running the ball really well. The offensive line was doing a great job getting to the second level. So that obviously helps an offense out a ton when you're getting 7-8 yards a clip. Just the momentum and the time of possession, you're keeping the defense out there for a long time.
Can you take us through the touchdown to Shipley and just what have you seen from him in this short time being able to develop?
Yeah, really happy for Ship that he got in the end zone. He's a great guy, man. He works hard. Gives it everything he's got every time he's out there on the practice field or in a game setting. Obviously, just a simple kind of get me on the move, play action, and he's in first reading the flat, he popped wide open, so it was a good one. We practiced it a couple times. It was good to get into a game.
The fan in you growing up, being a hometown kid, was there anything special about?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome, man. I put that jersey on for a long time just with no pads underneath it, so it felt good to have some shoulder pads and a helmet on. Running out there as a bird, so very special. I know my family was watching, a lot of friends back home that knew this was important to me, so it was cool. Thank you, guys. You got it.
Tanner, from your perspective, can you describe that last minute of the game?
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I don't know. It was just compete, go out, play your best. I feel like when you're out there, you're not thinking this is a preseason game. You're out there to win the game, and that's just who we are as competitors. So going out there, just always having awareness. Coach is huge on having the details of like what situation we're in. Are we in a 2-minute, 4-minute? What yard line do we have to get to have the kicker feel comfortable kicking the field goal? So I'm just talking to the O-line, hey, this is what's going to come up, telling the receivers to get a wide split or just little details like that that I thought we executed pretty well. And then ultimately just had our guys go make some amazing plays. Yeah.
How do you think the operation overall went for you tonight?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty smooth. The new offense I think is awesome. I feel like our guys did a good job with the details inside and out, especially for our first preseason game. Obviously some kinks to work out. It's what's to be expected with the first preseason game. But I thought we did pretty well for the first time as far as just getting things moving, getting lined up in the right spot, getting set, motions, getting to our landmarks. I thought we did a decent job.
What makes the new offense so awesome in your mind?
To start, I think it's really quarterback friendly. I think it allows our guys to show their potential. I think it takes advantages of one-on-ones, but also if they're in a zone, I think there's really good spacing concepts that I think we have. And I just think it is very, very well balanced. And I think you can see that tonight when we wanted to run the ball, we ran the ball a bunch, and then when we wanted to pass, the pass was there. So it's been a lot of fun we've been working on it so much against our own team. It was a lot of fun to play against other guys.
Was the shorter passes part of tonight's game?
Yeah, I think so. I think especially for a preseason game, we knew that they were going to bring a lot of pressure and specifically exotic pressures. Show one side, try to get us to send our line one way, and then bring two off the other side, so we'd have to play hot even in a 6-man protection. And so I think part of our game plan was, to get the ball out of our hands and play hot that way.
Those exotic pressures are probably something you're going to see throughout the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we don't know Gerard Mayo's scheme as well as the other two guys. But
Right.
How beneficial is it for you guys to kind of have to work on blitz pickups against defensive coordinators who will send pressure even in the
Right. I think it's huge. I think it tests our rules. I think it's good to see early. Obviously, at the end of the year, we had a lot of pressure and we struggled with it. And so I think we can address those problems now, talk about it, especially in the preseason, get those fixed. Because we're expecting to see pressure at the beginning of the season, and so we got to get those fixed. We know it's gonna happen. We know it's gonna come, and so we're gonna have answers for it, and we're gonna be able to address it and move the ball down the fild.
How did you feel like you guys did today handling pressure?
I thought we did a pretty good job. Obviously, there was a couple with guys running free, and we either have to adjust the line or know that we're hot and throw our hot routes. Overall, I thought we did a pretty good job, pretty good game plan. Especially, I would say later in the season, we'll have a better idea of what teams do just because we'll have more film on them. So it's a little tough going into the first preseason game. But overall, I thought we did a decent job.
How has Kellen addressed the pressure issue? I mean, did it come right away? You know, okay, this is, we keep watching and you can't help but talk about it. I mean, was it an elephant in the room or was it just flat out?
No, I think he came out and addressed it in a great manner. Like, obviously, it's facts. This is what happened last year. We had problems with pressure and we needed to address it. And so he said, these are our answers. This is what we're going to do. And I think it's great answers. They're great game plans depending on who it is. We have different schemes that we're going to get to, or different protections, just different rules that we're going to have that we can apply and I think beat those pressures that weren't really in our minds or we didn't really establish super well last year. We're putting that now at the forefront. It's going to be more an emphasis and more of a focus this year.
Tanner, with the amount of snaps you get in practice, you don't usually get to do long drives. So what was it like to be able to execute that and be able to capitalize in the third quarter the way you guys did?
Yeah, it was great. Shout out to those big guys. Because I know when I'm sweaty and I'm tired from just rolling out and carrying out my fakes, I know those big guys are tired. So running the ball as many times as we did, especially that last drive, and just marching the ball down the field in the humidity and the heat, I thought they did a tremendous job.
Are you able to gauge how far you've come? Last year, you're in the same building, first preseason game, but again, it's a new scheme. Are you able to gauge how far you've come?
Yeah, I would say I feel a lot more comfortable just with the offense. I talk a lot about just being able to play without thinking. I feel like that's when players play at their best. I would say last year I was a little bit more just methodical about what's going on and trying to make sure I'm on the right checks. And now I feel like I can just go out there and things just happen and checks are made. And I'm on the same page with the centers with the point. And so there's just different things like that I feel more comfortable with. And obviously tons of things that I can improve on. There were a few times this game that I missed a point or I thought the intent of the play was different. So I got the ball out of my hand and threw a pass that I probably should have just progressed on. But I just thought we were trying to get the ball snapped. So there's definitely things that I can improve on that way. But I would say overall I do feel more comfortable just being able to play without thinking so much. Thank you, guys.
They don't respect us. They don't know about our heart, man. That thing is beating your doggone chest right now. Whatever you got today, I got to have.